Hi there, I'm Tom Spencer. This week on Central Texas Gardener, meet the mushrooms that pop up after rainfall. Find out what's going on and how they benefit our soil and plants. On tour, visit a native design that invites attention even in winter. Daphne tells us what happens to plants in a hard freeze. And on Backyard Basics, see how Trisha controls rambling plants. So let's get growing right here, right now.
Support for Central Texas Gardener comes from GeoGrowers, offering custom soil blends for lawns, gardens, xeriscaping, and organic landscaping supplies. More information at geogrowers.net.
The best garden isn't just for spring and fall. It's an ongoing invitation to our visual senses and the wildlife, even in winter. See how Lynne and Jim Weber enjoy their nature watch all year long.
Lynne and Jim Weber, Texas Master Naturalists and National Wildlife Federation habitat stewards, are always on patrol to spy native and migratory wildlife at home or around town. In their garden, they look beyond spring romance with plants that nourish or harbor wildlife even in winter. Their book, Nature Watch Austin, tracks plant and wildlife activity in a monthly diary. Environmental awareness extends to their green-built home.
But the yard, we focus totally on native plants and no turf grass so that we would have no ongoing maintenance. And so that we would need a little less water, fertilizer, pesticides. We get a lot more wildlife in the yard as a result, a lot of birds, butterflies, lizards, other insects, and little animals visit our yard, and we love having the opportunity to see them.
That's more important to them than a desert of lawn.
I think there's two reasons. I think one is it gives me a sense of place. The more I know about where I am, the more I feel at home there. And I think number two, it's a sense of wonder. And in its simplest terms, it makes me feel like a child again. To be able to discover something new, to see something I haven't seen before, or to notice something and really learn something more detailed about it. So it's like those carefree times when you were a child and you'd romp off into the woods or into a meadow or a field and everything was new. And I feel that way again here. When you have the plants, when you restore the ecosystem, when you have the diversity, you bring so much more to your yard, and there's so much more for you to discover.
It all started with their interest in birds.
We had focused initially mostly on birds, and we had started getting interested in nature a few decades ago, more on birds. But as we saw a lot more, while you're out looking around, you see other things than birds. We saw butterflies, and then you start noticing plants and the different associations between butterflies and plants, whether it's for host plants or nectar sources. And pretty soon then you start seeing other insects and dragonflies, and you find lizards in the yard as well.
Their backyard is huge. Bordering the Balcones Canyonlands, they're restoring the 8-acre parcel's native plants and adding new ones.
It's been really an awesome thing for us. It's a good little canyon of diverse habitat. There's a perennial stream in there, and a good variety of native plants in there as well, and golden cheek warblers on that piece. We've gone through and removed many non-native plants out of there, mostly ligustrum, but there's a chinaberry and a few other things that we've taken out of there. But we've spent many hours ridding it of non-native plants.
Their front yard is compact, but includes everything a diverse wildlife audience appreciates.
In order to create a good wildscape, you have to have food, you have to have water, you have to have cover, and you have to have places to raise young. And I think the hardest of all those things, especially in Texas, is the water piece. So we knew that we wanted moving water. Moving water will attract a lot of wildlife just from the sound. And we didn't have that naturally on our property, not many properties do, so we brought in a landscaper who specialized in water features. And that was Russell Womack, Capital Landscaping.
We put it in the front yard mainly because we have kind of a difficult yard from a slope point of view. And it ended up being just a good use of the natural slope of the front yard to put one in that location. There were some big stones there already that could be featured around the water, and it's really nice to be able to see it while we're sitting in the study, to be able to have the view out the front window that's the water, and we have a lot of birds and small animals that come to get a drink or take a bath during the day.
That's another reason to diversify for every season. An ongoing cycle of flowers, berries, and seeds means a wider audience, since every creature has its favorite diet. The Webers aren't the first to prune when winter changes the scenery.
Well, the birds will appreciate the seeds out of the flower heads as they dry up. We like the look of the dried flowers as well as the new ones. And so we won't cut those back. And it's also good shelter for them. The bushes, the shrubby plants being left up gives them a place to hide as they're coming in to get a drink of water.
Everybody loves flowers, everybody loves things blooming, everybody loves spring. But you find that the other seasons have beauty too. And you can learn a lot about the life cycle of plants, of insects, of other animals. And you see that more when the seasons change and when your garden changes. We used to be so much more connected to those natural cycles, and now that we live in air-conditioned and heated spaces, we miss out on that. And a changing garden brings that attention back in my life, and I really enjoy it.
Jim's attention led to photography to record their observations and to learn more about them.
Unless you had caught it and looked at it under in hand, basically, you're really not going to see the detail you can get in a picture. And it only takes a second, and you've gotten an image that you can go study for hours with 3 or 4 field guides, and try to make sure you can tell exactly which one it is. And it's a good record in case it's something rare. Someone may want to know that where and when you saw this thing.
Their records inspired the book that started with a neighborhood newsletter to promote recognition and understanding of our fellow inhabitants.
Our goal was that we wanted the people that lived in the neighborhood to appreciate some of what was going on in the Balcones Canyonland Preserve property that surrounds the neighborhood. So the idea of the newsletters was to pick a topic of something that might be happening in the neighborhood around that time of year. We wanted the people to appreciate what was around them and not be so focused on, gee, I heard a coyote, or where'd my, a deer eating my flowers, or the other kind of negative aspects to living next to a large preserve system. We run in the morning very early, Lynne and I, and we love when we hear a coyote or an owl in the morning while we're out running. It's just makes for a really good day.
Although they've given their upfront garden structural design and tend it with timely maintenance, they allow it to be an active participant.
Well, maybe that's just a reaction to most of our lives being so ordered that maybe this is kind of a response to that. Subconsciously, we've let this be more free-form and natural, and it's sort of evolved. Every year it's a little bit different. Some things do well. We decide we want to add or change things year to year, so it's been sort of a work in progress, and some of it is naturalized in its own way, and we just sort of let it kind of go in the direction it wants to go.
And I think it, again, back gives you a sense of place, a sense of what works and what doesn't, and what the cycles are. And that's very enjoyable, very relaxing. It's a form of meditation in a way.
Thanks so much for sharing your garden with us. Now we're going to be turning to a topic that I think a lot of you will have fun with, but unexpected fun. We're going to be talking about mushrooms and the fungi that grow among us out there in our gardens. And I'm joined by Ashley McKenzie. And Ashley, this is a topic that a lot of people out there are very wary of. They see a mushroom or something growing in their garden, they instantly think danger or warning, this is poisonous or something bad is happening. Why are you interested in mushrooms?
I've been interested in mushrooms ever since I learned that my great-grandmother from Lithuania did forays out in the wild, forests. And I just kind of was intrigued by that, started reading, and then came to find out how beneficial mushrooms really are for the soil, for recycling toxins and waste out of our environment. Mm-hmm. And they're actually quite nice to eat in certain varieties. I think the general fear comes from the fact that there are poisonous mushrooms, and that, you know, when you're dealing with children or anybody else, you don't ever want to let anything bad happen. So you just say, end all, you know, mushrooms are dangerous.
Right, right. Well, caution is always advised. Now, it's interesting that you come from the Eastern European background, because their mushroom hunts are a big part of the culture, actually.
Yes.
So I can see being intrigued by your own heritage. Now, you're involved in a group that actually gets together and studies mushrooms and tries to identify them. Describe the group.
We're on meetup.com.
Okay.
We're titled the Texas Wild Mushrooming Group.
Okay.
And what we do is we just pick nature trails here in Austin,
Mm-hmm.
Central Texas, and after rains, we schedule a flash foray
Mm-hmm.
and go out and take a nice nature hike, pick what we see,
Mm-hmm.
and then go back after the hike, spread our find, and use guidebooks to try to identify the species. And what we're looking for is actually like culinary choice edible mushrooms that we
Okay.
can use in recipes.
Okay, so there's an actual group that goes out and identifies these things, and I guess it was a little hard during the drought. Sometimes you had to wait a long time between those flash forays.
We haven't been very active lately. We pray for rain every day,
Right,
but
right.
you know, as soon as there's rain, usually the springtime is our more active time.
Well, there are all sorts of things out there in the garden. What makes a mushroom a mushroom?
A mushroom is actually the fruiting body of an underground network called a mycelial mat. And this mat is interspersed probably among all habitats. If you ever pick up the soil and you see kind of a cobwebby like white structure,
Sure.
this is the mycelial mat. And then the mushroom is, say, like an apple on a tree. It's the fruiting body of something that grows out of the soil when the conditions are right.
Okay, and not to be confused with a lot of other things out there, molds and other kinds of things that are in the garden. They're their
Definitely.
own family.
They're fungi.
And why, you know, we see them in waves. You say you wait for rain. Obviously, moisture is a trigger. Are there other triggers for mushrooms?
There's several categories of mushrooms. Some decompose wood, so many gardeners might see the mushrooms pop up on a wood bed or a mulch bed, and there's primary, secondary, and third decomposers of these things, so that's why you might see them in a wave. They come through and they kind of act on each other's progress. And then more so in the soil, there's a classification called mycorrhizal mushrooms, and they interact with the roots of plants and trees and actually become an extension of the roots. So when you see mushrooms, you can be sure that it's a sign of your healthy soil and that the root system of your plants are actually receiving more nutrients through these.
Well, and I think that's a critical point. Now, often on my radio program, people will call and say, help, I have mushrooms in my yard. What do I do? How do I kill them?
You don't want to kill them. I would best say at the very least, just watch them and let them decay, which they will do in a matter of days, if not
right?
quicker. Yeah. As soon as the sun returns and the dry conditions become, or the heat comes, as Central Texas knows, they will immediately disappear. But the mycelial mat is still in the soil and providing that nutrient system for the plants.
Okay, so very beneficial in other words.
Very, very.
Okay, so I understand that you will, when you go out collecting, sometimes you actually try to propagate mushrooms or collect them to propagate. How does one do that?
Well, it's interesting that you ask. A very key identifying characteristic is to take something called a spore print. So if you have your traditional capped mushroom, you would cut the stalk off, take the cap with the gills side down, put it on a piece of paper, and wait for these things called spores to come out on the paper. And they can be a variety of colors, therefore being one of the key identifying factors.
Okay.
Then you would, if you wanted to propagate, you could take these spores and make something called maybe a spore slurry by just putting them in some water with salt and pouring them on the ground. You could take the spores and then do something more scientific and like inoculate a petri dish and watch them grow that way.
So lots of different ways to do it.
Lots of methods, yes.
Okay, so in terms of particular soils or situations in a garden setting, I always think of them as growing, in shade and moist settings, heavily mulched or composted areas. Is that typical?
Yeah, it's typical. Many of the culinary mushrooms we're looking for actually grow off of wood. So if you wanted to propagate, having a fresh freshly cut wood chip bed of, say, oak, and then trying to inoculate this fresh wood with the spores could provide you what you wanted. And you can find spores via websites online. There's also people who take logs and drill little holes into the logs and propagate shiitake, for instance, like this.
Mm-hmm. Now, do they survive courtesy of the spores? Do the spores have a long lifetime? I'm thinking that, for example, like in our drought situation, we may go months now between periods where you would find any kind of mushroom actually growing in the garden.
The spores, if you have the spores, you've taken them from the mushroom and you keep them, say, in a refrigerated, sealed condition, they will last, and then you can reintroduce them at that point. One of the sayings that's in the industry is keep the mycelium running. So if you saw mushrooms appear, say, at the edge of a wood bed and you didn't add wood the next year, the mycelium, that network under the ground, has nowhere to go. So you must add the wood for the mycelium to keep running through the soil. And then next time there's rain, or say you were to just soak your wood bed, and as long as the temperature was also lower, then you would see something.
So you actively cultivate the mushrooms. You water them and you feed them.
You can water them and essentially feed them. Yes.
Right. So, and I find it all really fascinating, and of course we do want to urge caution when it comes to edible mushrooms. People need to be very knowledgeable before they just go out and start popping mushrooms down. But it sounds like there's a wide variety that you can actually grow in our area for culinary purposes.
There are. I'd say with the heat lately, it's been limiting, but in the fall and spring and winter months, you can definitely cultivate a variety of mushrooms.
Okay, so that's something for people to be thinking about. And I would imagine that your meetup group is probably one of the best places to go if you wanted to extend your knowledge.
Yeah, we would love for members to join, and we have a discussion board where people can post questions. We've had several members post their experiences with growing, and our community's kind of provided a backdrop to, hey, I found this one, or hey, I don't know what's going on here, and then we can be a resource in identifying before anybody eats the wrong thing and ends up in the hospital or worse, dead.
So again, caution.
Caution.
Danger warning, Will Robinson, right? So beware of what you're doing out there. But let's talk a little bit more about some of the activities of the group. So culinary, I think recipes and things like that as well, trading of all that kind of sort.
Yes, we're looking for culinary recipes. It's pretty limited to find people who experiment with mushroom recipes, especially of the wild variety, since people are so limited in actually having them.
Right.
We're interested in the recipe sharing. We're interested in propagation sharing, different methods. At this point, I'm connecting with some members, just not members of our group, but Austinites at large, who are becoming really active in mycology and just mushrooms in general. And I'm really excited for how that's going to play out in the future.
All right. Well, it's a fascinating topic, and one that I'm excited to learn about for the first time, actually. So I'm so glad that you came on the program. And it will extend, when I go out into the garden now, I'll look at it in a very different kind of way.
Excellent.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for being our guest.
Thank you so much, Tom.
Okay, real pleasure. And coming up next is our friend Daphne.
Hi, I'm Daphne Richards. Our question this week is, why is it best to prune trees in the winter? And the best answer is because winter is the least stressful time to do so. You can definitely prune woody plants at other times of year, but pruning in winter takes advantage of the tree's natural growth cycle and encourages faster, more complete healing. Deciduous trees, which most of our landscape trees are, go dormant in winter, and even semi-evergreen species like live oaks don't actively grow when it's cold out. So their plant sap, which contains water, nutrient, and hormones, isn't actively flowing at this time of year. This means that the cut surface won't have lots of sap rushing to it, as it would in the spring, which would attract insects and disease spores to the source of their direct route into the body. But a bit of sap flow is actually a very good thing, leading to natural healing of the wound. Shortly after being cut, the tree will start to form callus tissue, which will at first look like a small donut ring and will eventually, perhaps after many years, grow to cover the entire cut surface. And because you want a little sap flow but not too much, the late winter, when plants are still asleep but are getting ready to wake up, is the best time in the plant's natural growth cycle to take advantage of this strategy. This is especially true when pruning oak trees, so as to avoid the possibility of getting oak wilt, which is insect vectored. Like most insects, the beetles that vector oak wilt are not active during the winter, so there's very little chance of infection if you prune at this time. Because of oak wilt, it's advisable to paint the pruning cuts on oak trees, but this isn't recommended on other species since the pruning paint actually inhibits the natural peeling process. Our plant of the week this week is mountain pea, or Bexillum sp. This Mexican plant makes a great ground cover in sunny spots in your landscape. The leaves are small and the delicate purple flowers are even smaller, but mountain pea creates a nice little thicket and gives a lot of bang for your buck. It's fairly tall for a ground cover, growing to about 2 feet tall in my garden, and it does spread to about 3 feet wide, so give it plenty of room. It does well in bright sun and thrives in part shade, but if planted in too much shade, it will stretch for the sun, making it a little taller and lankier, and it will also have fewer flowers. Well-drained soil is best, but mountain pea isn't listed as very drought tolerant. But mine survived the terrible heat and drought of 2010 while being watered only on my legal days, so it does just fine with a little care. To do in your garden this week, don't forget to turn the compost pile or consider building a new one. Composting is easier than you might think, but during the winter it may be a little difficult to procure enough materials to build a nice-sized pile and keep it going. But there's a new program in town, the Ground to Ground Initiative, which aims to connect area coffee shops with gardeners who want coffee grounds and food waste and are willing to make a commitment to regular pickups. I'm very proud to say that we at the Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service in Travis County have partnered with the Compost Coalition and Urban Patchwork Neighborhood Farms to bring this program to life. For more information and to get involved, go to the program's website at compostcoalition.com or give us a call at the Extension office. We'd love to hear from you, so please visit klru.org/ctg to send us your questions or plants of the week from your garden.
Thanks, Daphne. Now let's check in with Trisha Shirey for Backyard Basics.
Hi, I'm Trisha Shirey, and Backyard Basics is here at Lake Austin Resort Spa Gardens today. And I'm going to talk about garden structures. Now, not all of us have fences to work with in our gardens, and some plants really appreciate the extra support, but you can provide it where you want it. One of my favorite techniques is to use T-posts, and they come in various heights and sizes, and a livestock panel. Now this livestock panel comes with a 4x4 opening or a 4x6 opening. You want a fairly large opening so you can get your hand in to collect that big juicy tomato or cucumber, so don't use a smaller opening than 4x4. The panels can be cut to size. You can use them tall for things like green beans. You can put them sideways for cucumbers. You can even grow cantaloupes on these panels. If you use a little bit of support, I'll use pantyhose to hold up those cantaloupes as they start to get larger. So they become a great vehicle for growing pole beans and many other things. And you can move them around in the garden every year depending on where you want to rotate those plants. Now I found a tomato cage that I absolutely love. This is the Texas tomato cage, and it's galvanized so it doesn't rust. And the nicest thing about it is it folds flat for storage, so I can put the entire garden's worth of cages in a very small area to store them. They don't rust and they are very sturdy. They come in various sizes, so I use the smallest size for my peppers and eggplant. There's a larger tomato cage for indeterminate tomatoes, and then I use the shorter ones for determinate tomatoes. Now, because we have a lot of wind here at Lake Austin Spa, I usually have to put stakes on my tomato cages to keep them sturdy in high winds, but you may not need to do that. I use bamboo stakes or rebar or even copper tubing to hold those into the ground. Now I also use bamboo stakes for other things. The cucumbers will climb on top of the bamboo. You can also use bamboo in a teepee to grow green beans on, and it's pretty long lasting. You can usually get 2 garden seasons out of it, and it's very inexpensive. Most people who have bamboo would be happy for you to cut it. Now, I also use rebar in many ways in the garden. Rebar hoops made with the 3/8 rebar are very useful all winter long. I can put my row cover over to keep the plants warmer, and I use spring clamps to hold the covers on in place. Now, in the early garden season, I have the lightweight row cover over the plants to keep the squash vine borers off of my squash. When I plant squash, the row cover goes on and stays on until the plants are starting to have the male and female flowers, and then I take the cover off and open it up to the pollinators, and by that time the squash has grown quite large and it's ready to be producing, and it can outgrow the squash vine borers if they do come. So the rebar hoops also come in handy for putting the deer netting over the plants if you happen to have a problem with deer or rabbits or even birds attacking your plants. You can use those same hoops to put the netting over, attached with clamps, and you can lift the clamps and get to your plants. So all of these things can provide great structure for your garden and help you out with keeping your plants happy. For Backyard Basics, I'm Trisha Shirey. Thanks for joining us.
Find out more at klru.org/CTG, and be sure to like us on Facebook. Next week, get a new perspective on drought. Until then, I'll see you in the garden.
To learn about today's program, watch online and follow CTG's blog. Check out klru.org/CTG.
Support for Central Texas Gardener comes from GeoGrowers, offering custom soil blends for lawns, gardens, xeriscaping, and organic landscaping supplies. More information at geogrowers.net.